everybody, it's Debbie here and welcome back to my crafty den. I am doing another small fall decor project using one of my favorite items, which is a mason jar, and this one is a quart jar. I have mason jars, so I use mason jars. Now, recently I've been, just for kind of that farmhouse look, I've been using this jar, which all I had around the rim is a piece of this, it's just over an inch jute tape. And so I stuck it around the top of the jar with some hot glue and tied some twine around it. And that's all I did. Like, that's a simple project that anybody can do. You don't have to have anything. I hot glued this, but you could put a little bit of glue on it. You could just wrap this around and put the string around the center to hold it on if that's all you had. And you can get both of these items at the dollar store. So an empty jar and $2 worth of items, or $2.50 here in Canada. So I have the napkin that I hauled yesterday, or the day before. No, yesterday. Boy, oh boy, I have 3 days off and they're flying by too fast. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it kind of shocks me when I stop and think what day of the week it is. So I am going to decoupage this napkin onto this jar. I'm going to top it with something very similar to this, and I'm going to use it for a fall arrangement. So if you'd like to see that, stay tuned and I'll get right to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is decoupage, which you've seen me do before, so I might speed this up a little bit. Well, I think what I'll do is speed it up. I'll film it, speed it up, and then just do a little bit of a voiceover so that you know what I'm doing. So I'm going to use Mod Podge, as you can see, in a foam brush. I just brushed the glue on part of the jar, and then I realized that I should just work my way around bit by bit instead of trying to glue it all at once. So I just checked to make sure that I only had one piece of my napkin, one layer, because you don't want any layers between your top and your Mod Podge or it's not going to stick. It'll peel off. So I lined it up with the seam on the back of the jar so that I could get that first bit straight. And then I just kept gluing, spreading the glue and laying the napkin back over top of it and then tapping it on with my cellophane. Now I was part way around here somewhere, and I must have picked up a little tad of glue on my cellophane because when I was all done, I ended up with a little ripped piece that I had to fix. And I am going to leave that part in there so that if you make a mistake on yours, like I've done on mine, you can see how I corrected it. So I've got the napkin wrapped around the jar, and I made a mistake. I got a tiny bit of glue onto my cellophane, and when I was doing this, it stuck to this pumpkin, and it ripped some of my napkin. That's how delicate the napkin is. So all I've done to fix it is I cut out two of just the pumpkins, and I am going to decoupage them right over top of the other two. And to do that, I'm using a very, very, very soft brush. In fact, this is an eyeshadow brush. And I am going to very carefully put this on here. And then when it's covered, I'm going to lay the other pumpkin right over top. And basically all that will do is make the pumpkin a little tiny bit more opaque, which will be okay. It's going to be fine. If I should decide to use this as a candle holder and put a candle in it, the light will shine through where all the words are, and it just won't shine through as much where the pumpkin is. So I'm barely touching this to get this Mod Podge on here. just barely touching it. I should have been more careful the first time, and I wouldn't have to do this. But it just goes to show that we all make mistakes, and there's always something that you can do to fix it. So I've got lots of Mod Podge on here. I didn't cut the little tendril out because I figured that's okay. I can just line this up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put this right on here and very carefully try to line up the lines. And it's not going to go perfect because there are some wrinkles in the first one, and because of that, there. So I'm just going to put it right down the center, and then I'm just going to work my way out like this, very carefully tapping it with this soft brush. See, it lined right up with the tendrils, so I'm good there. I think I got this side on a little bit better than the other side. I did the other side first. Oh, no, the other side ran off a little wee bit too, so, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's better than the whole. Just make sure you get your edges down really good if you have to do this. Or you could just do it if you just wanted the pumpkins or a part of your napkin to be more opaque than the rest, especially if you were using a jar like this for a candle holder. If there were parts of it that you wanted to be more opaque so that the light kind of backlit the picture, you could do that as well. It would work. There's so many. I mean, you can use napkins for so much and do so many things with them. So that's it. I'm just going to let this dry now, and it'll take a little longer, but I've got some chores around the house to do, so I'll go do my chores. Now, I measured this ahead of time, and my napkin actually went right around the jar perfectly without cutting it, and it overlapped. There was an orange line on both sides of on the edge of the napkin, and the one orange line overlapped the other. So when I started, you could see where I started right on the seam of the glass. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. There, I'm going to go wash my brushes up and do some chores, and I'll be back when this is dry. So I'm back. Did a few things around the house, and yeah, as much as I love being in my craft room, I can't stay here forever. I wish I could. Anyway, I've got, this is dry enough to touch here, not where I did the second layer of the pumpkins, but everything else is okay to handle. So I'm going to start in the back where the stripe is. And I'm going to use this ribbon. It's a jute ribbon, and it actually has its peel and stick, see, which is really cool. But I don't trust this to stay on with just the peel and stick, so I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on here. So I have my glue gun heated up, and I'm going to put glue here where I want to get it started. And I'm going to start right at the line in the back, and I'm going to line it even with the top of the jar. And then I'm just going to press that in there so that it'll stick. Because of the rim, like there's no way that this is going to stick just to this little wee edge. I wish it would, but it won't. So I'm going to just work my way around. And every little bit, probably every quarter or so, I'm just going to put a blob of glue just to keep it from going anywhere. Just to keep it nice and secure. So I'll do another one here. Now this is really sticky. It probably would stick to a lot of different things. I just don't trust this because it's ridges. So I'm going to put some here, bring it right up to there, and then this is going to overlap. So I'm going to put some right down there. Just there. So that's done. Now that's looking really pretty already. And then the finishing touch is going to be just some jute twine. Now I just doubled it and doubled it again, so I have like 4 thicknesses. And then I'm going to go so that I have it right. I think I'll do it so that it's kitty cornered, and put my bow just off center. And I'm going to do it right underneath this edge to kind of finish it. So all I'm going to do is tie myself a good knot. And then tie myself a bow. And then I'm going to pull these ends in a little bit like this, just so I get it perfect. And I'm going to put a dab of hot glue right behind that. And then I'm going to take my scissors and the big ones, and I'm going to just trim this off like that. There. And there you have it. So that is my vase. And I hauled at Dollarama. Oh, I got a little bit of that hot glue stuck there and there. So my bow is going to be a little bit off center. If I want, I can turn it this way or I can turn it this way. I mean, it's going to look good. I could put this on the table in the middle of the room, and this is going to look good everywhere. I mean, yeah, I like it. So I have this bouquet, this fall bouquet that's called Halloween that I got at Dollarama, and I'm going to take all the tags off of it. And it is very, very long, and I don't want it to stick way up there like that. So I'm actually going to, I'm just going to cut through the plastic here and bend this back and forth if I can and snip it off. There, that was hard to snip off. I started twisting it back and forth, and it was... See that? It was all these little wires went down into the first part of this. But this is what I want. I want it to be short. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these out like this. Just open them up a little bit. I'm just going to pull each one out. Kind of like opening up the bits on a Christmas tree. And I'm going to shove some of these pieces up a little bit higher, so that I get the full effect, and then I'm going to just put them right down in here. So, I'm going to take my camera off the tripod and show you. Now, isn't that pretty? So, there you have it. And I love it. I think it's going to look really pretty. And I'll go put it where I want to put it right now, and I'll give you a peek. So that's it. That's my little decor project for today, fall decor project. And if you liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment, like, and by all means share. Yeah, the more you share, the better it helps out my channel. So bye-bye for now, everybody. I will see you in the next video.